I can imagine that we all agree just how important it is to feel safe, right? You want to feel safe with yourself, you want to feel safe with people. You want to feel safe in the world altogether, right? I don't know if this is obvious, but I'm probably going to have a fun time exploring this because let's just dive into it. When you want to feel safe in a world of chaos, right? Who doesn't want to feel safe, right? This kind of corresponds with the video that I made yesterday, right? About you want the world to change for you, right? Let's look at childhood. A lot of people experienced chaos, unpredictability, drama, gossip, all that stuff in childhood, and that left them feeling very unsafe. They learned to tune into everyone else to feel or achieve a sense of safety. From what I understand, safety is literally a basic human need, right? Now, let's look at it from this standpoint. If what a person is familiar with is chaos, right? And they're looking out at the world for safety, but all they're seeing is chaos, and they're struggling, therefore, to achieve a sense of safety. Are they not just projecting how they feel and what it is that they're familiar with and comfortable with out onto the world? And therefore, with that, then, just really projecting what it is that is familiar to them out onto the world and thinking that it's hard for them to achieve safety when really they're just repeating a pattern of projecting their own insecurity of feeling, which is chaos that was learned in childhood out onto the world, and saying that the world is a chaotic and unsafe place. Now, that's one person. Imagine billions of people doing that. Yeah, it's going to get confusing. You're going to point out to the world and be like, the world is not a safe place. The world needs to change for me. I can't feel safe until the world does something about it. If what you're familiar with is chaos, or I could just say unsafety, right? Unsafety is like the headline for a bunch of underlying elements, right? If what you're familiar with is chaos and unsafety, then it's likely that that's actually what you are creating, right? Because what you feel within yourself, you're going to look out onto the world and see that, because that's just the way that it is. And not only that, but you're going to seek more elements, energies, and dynamics that actually mirror and match that. And that's the wild thing here, right? If you want to, when somebody wants to feel safe in a world of chaos, the world that they don't realize they're referring to, and I'm not trying to suggest anything here, I'm just going deep because this is a lot deeper than I think people realize, right? There is an entire world inside of me, right? I see everything out there based on that. The lack, the anger, the frustration, not just negative things, also positive things. Love, light, beautiful, wonderful things, right? But I see out in the world based on what's within me. So when a person wants safety, when they want to feel safe in a world that they feel is unsafe, are they not just really taking what's inside of them and putting it out there? Makes sense to me. I do believe that's the case, right? If what they see is really just what is inside of them, and believe me when I say this, a human can turn any situation into anything, right? They can turn a situation in which maybe everything is perfectly fine into a situation of paranoia, simply because of how they're feeling within themselves, right? It's not necessarily that the world is a place of chaos, unsafety, unpredictability, drama, gossip, all of these negative things that lead you to feel unsafe. Maybe it's more so that you're looking at this world outside of you, and this turbulence that is already within you, you're projecting out onto the world, right? And you're like, yeah, I can't feel safe in the world. I can't feel safe in the world. Is the world unsafe? Maybe there are other dynamics out there that are unsafe because there are other people out there that feel unsafe within themselves, and then therefore with that are projecting their feelings of unsafety out onto the world and actually creating more dynamics of unsafety out onto the world. But does this really just originate from back within us? You know, here's the fascinating thing. I sat down this morning to meditate because I was actually feeling unsafe. And unsafety is something that I have felt for a long time, many times. Not always consistently, but I have felt it before. And I was thinking about this, and I was like, I just want to feel safe. I'm tired of feeling unsafe. And then I thought about it, and I was like, wait a second. I'm doing this to myself. Am I not? Where does this feeling of unsafety come from? No? Is the world really that unsafe? Sure, yeah, maybe. People are creating situations, circumstances, dynamics of unsafety. But that's also coming from within them. And they'll have their own time to realize that for themselves. If they do, it's okay, right? But for me specifically, then what I did was I sat down in meditation and I was like, well, if I can feel unsafe, I can also feel safe. And then I was like, wow, this actually has so much more to do with me than it does to do with the rest of the world. I'm just painting the world with my paintbrush. I'm using the color that is unsafety. And I'm creating this mural of chaos and destruction and fear and anxiety and lack and worry. I could use a different color. I could use a different paintbrush. Right? I can choose to feel safe because, again, the world, reality, it's a mirror for how we feel within ourselves. So then, therefore, with that, I like saying that, then, therefore, with that, the responsibility actually comes back to me. I am capable of feeling differently, and therefore, with that, then, maybe that'll be the last time I say that, experiencing differently. Because if I can feel unsafe, I can also feel safe. I can exit the matrix. I swear I just wanted to say matrix. But really, I can exit the autopilot of unsafety. It's familiar. I'm used to it. That's how things have been. That's what I know. But I can exit that. And then therefore, with that, then, I knew I'd say it one more time, at least. I can experience differently. When you want to feel safe in a world of chaos, is it actually necessary for the external to change? Or does the external change when the internal changes? Right? If reality, if the world, if life is a mirror for how you feel on the inside, then maybe I have to look at myself and do some inner engineering. I think that that's how this works. Well, I know that that's how this works. But like, I was really just in the moment, and I was like, this is me. I'm doing this to myself. I don't have to feel unsafe. I can choose to breathe, and I can choose to, because I know what it's like to feel safe. See, here's the challenge, I think, for many people, is that it's like, I can imagine that you've felt probably every emotion at some point in your life, right? So therefore, with that then, you probably know how to feel safe, right? And if you don't, here's the internet. You know, you can do anything. You can look up anything you want to, right? You can figure out how to feel safe. And then, I'll say it one last time. And therefore, with that, then, you can create the experience of safety because you're feeling it. And feeling is the secret here. As I believe it was Neville Goddard said. There's a book called Feeling is the Secret. I read it. It was wild. Everything out there, it's a mirror. It's a mirror.